So today is going to be a very interesting vlog because I have two things to do. A Q&A video about photography projects, and in the same time I have to fly from Tel Aviv to Istanbul, Mongolia. Wish me luck. Thank you. Thank you. Just landed in Turkey. Let's start with a question, shall we? Okay. What was your first photography project and what did you learn from it? My first photography project was the Eagle Huntress of Mongolia, and what I learned from it is that good images don't make an interesting project, but a good story does. Do you use local guides or do you go by yourself? I always use a local guide. It's the person that can help you overcome language barrier. It's the person who knows the territory you're working in and can help you get into places you wouldn't even know existing. Local guides are crucial in making interesting photography projects in places you don't know. Here's a technical one. What image editing software do you use for your images? For instance, my biggest problem is always noise reduction and sharpening. Well, I almost exclusively use Lightroom for most of my images, but most of the editing that I do to my images is quite minimal. Mostly dealing with fixing the colors of the image, adding some contrast, that's pretty much it. Specifically about noise reduction, Lightroom does a really good job, but my best advice would be to actually not focus on it. You know, cameras, lenses, you can always upgrade and get better cameras that will have less noisy pictures and sharper images, but you as a photographer are going to stay the same throughout. So I think you should focus more on getting better images rather than sharper images or images with less noise in them. What is your dream project? Well, honestly, the real answer to that would be to be working on any one of my projects without having to deal with budgets and fundings. If I could just focus on doing the work without trying to figure out how I'm going to fund it, I would be able to be a lot more productive and enjoy my work a lot more when I don't have that pressure of while I'm doing something, I also have to focus on how I'm going to afford it later or what can I use it in order to afford future projects. I had to stop the Q&A for a minute. I'm actually here in Istanbul waiting for a meeting, so I had to leave the airport and wait for my taxi to take me to Central City. But I'll keep the Q&A from the taxi. I'll do one question in the car. How many shots did you miss because your drone batteries froze to death? Too many to count. It's one of the reasons why I'm selling my current drone, and I'm waiting for DJI, whatever company, to come out with a drone who's more resilient to cold weathers.
2 hours later.
Okay, we're cutting it short. It's now 5:30. My flight leaves at 7, and this is the traffic right now. Do you think we'll make it to the airport? So, my driver had a really genius plan of driving on the police road to make it faster, but you know, you gotta catch a flight. What can you do? Okay, we just entered the airport. I think we're going to make it. I think we're going to make it. We are very close to losing this one, but we might make it. Fuck. The good thing is that I got my ticket issued back in Israel. So now I just need to run to airport security and make it to the gate. Okay, now I go to passport control and I check my luggage, and then I need to run to, thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, I just passed security. I need to figure out which gate is my flight from, and then run to it. Thank you. 7:10, we're on Batar, 7:03. 7:30, 7:03, 7:03, 7:03. Where is 7:03? This sign says that 7:03 is about 14-minute walk. I have about 15-minute stops to reach my gate, so I'm gonna run for it. Ooh, escalators. Wow, I'm sweating. I don't know if this is the right gate. I know I'm here on time. I just need to hope that I'll find it easily now. Looks promising though. Got it. 7:03, right there. Okay, I'm 5 minutes before last call, so I'll answer the next question in the bus. This is pretty noisy, so I'm going to try to ask the question here and answer it inside the bus or the plane. The question is, are you making contact with magazine sponsors and clients before starting a project in order to be able to publish it with more ease? Thank you. Well, the honest answer that I'm really impatient. I just don't have the strength to sit down and wait for a client to decide whether or not he's interested, a community to decide whether or not I'm worthy of the grant they're offering. There are planes flying over here. So usually when I have an idea of a project, I simply gather the money somehow, make it happen, and then later deal with the consequences of losing the few $1,000s it actually cost me. Going to the plane now. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. This idea I had to record outside the plane was probably the worst idea I had so far this day. So much. Just landed in Newry, which is the capital of Mongolia. 30 hours of traveling are about to end. Finally. So I just left the airport in Mongolia. I'm gonna go to my room, take a shower, and continue with the Q&A. Okay, I'll do 2 final questions and that'll be the end of this video. Do you always ask for permission when taking photos of people? 90% of the time, yes. I have only one project I've done so far that's done without the participation of the people I'm photographing, but mostly when I work on photography projects, I try to get the people I'm photographing as much engaged in the process as possible, basically making them not only aware they're being photographed, but also contributing to the story itself by saying what kind of images they think is best to do for the story and where and how they should be taken. Because basically they are the heroes of their own stories, and I think that the heroes should have a say about how the story is being told. I would like to learn more about how to produce videos and stories all together. Can you suggest any resources that are more detailed about how I can do that? Yes, there are a couple of videos you have to see. I'm going to list them now. First video is Casey Neistat film guide. Casey Neistat guide to filmmaking. Check it out on his channel. Great video. Watch it over and over and over again. It will help you a lot. Then don't watch any more of his stuff and go to a channel called The Art of Photography by Ted Forbes and check out a video called Nobody Cares About Your Photography. A great video for anyone who wants to do video and stills photography and want to get more sense of things of how they should approach doing so. And based on those 2 videos, you will have enough information about the production of those things and about what is the idea behind them. Make sure to watch both of those videos after you finish this one. Okay, we'll do one more. How do you finance your projects? Well, this is an answer that's always hard to answer, especially because most photographers don't really want to share their incomes or business plans. But at the end of the day, I think it all boils down to one thing. A photographer today who wants to make this into a business has to think about his business as an ecosystem. Basically, you're not only doing one thing and having your income source come from it and the funding come from it. You try to develop a group of things that you can offer and do for clients, and then all together it kind of funds each other. So basically, if you're thinking how to start your photography as a business or how to afford doing your own photography projects in your spare time, the answer will always be try to get the funds from as many sources as possible. If you're applying for grants, that's great and I wish you the best of luck, but don't be dependent on them. Make sure that you offer yourself to grants and you also offer your own lectures and maybe sell prints, maybe do approach magazines and offer previous work you had, just so you'll be able to get that snowball rolling. And as time passes, this ecosystem of a business you'll build will allow it to grow more and more and more and more to a point where you can easily afford do any photography projects that you are interested in doing. So this will be the end of this video. If you liked it, please make sure to write a comment in the comment section below and give a like. It really helps promote this channel and these videos to other audiences. And yeah, that'll be this week's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys again in about a week.